Looking to rebuild in Sussex County 3 weeks after a major storm rocks the coast. Now, state leaders are looking for emergency funding. All of this as WBOC learns first of some disappointing news for Bethany Beach. Good evening. I'm Paul Butler.
And I'm Steve Hammond. Welcome to WBOC News at 6. Yes, the governor, as well as state lawmakers and environmental leaders, gathered in Dewey Beach today, where they announced a plan to seek some $2.5 million in emergency funding. Now, that's the good news.
Yeah, but WBOC is also learning some new information tonight regarding beach replenishment. Now, despite expectations otherwise, the Bethany Beach area has been left out of this year's replenishment plans. Our Sussex County Bureau Chief, Evan Koslov, has been working that story today. He's live in Bethany Beach tonight. And Evan, disappointment in that area today.
The decision was made by the Army Corps of Engineers. They decided that where I am right now here in Bethany Beach, as well as South Bethany Beach, would not be included in this year's work plan. This is despite expectations that those areas would be included by not just the towns, but some leaders at DNREC as well. Now, one DNREC beach expert tells me that this area is at risk. The roar of dozers could be heard in Dewey Beach. DNREC is pushing sand from the beach to the dune, all to deal with the damage from last month's storm. Mayor of Dewey Beach, Diane Hansen, joined us Wednesday morning to assess the damage.
We lost at least a third of our dunes, maybe half.
Now fast forward to Wednesday afternoon when Governor Jack Markell joined lawmakers and state officials to announce that the state is seeking emergency funding. If received, some $2.5 million would go toward things like repairing the boardwalk, entryways, and fencing along Delaware's coast.
If you think about the importance of our tourism economy, this is a multi-billion-dollar industry for Delaware, and it's important that people keep coming back, keep spending their money here.
But according to Tony Pratt from the Department of Natural Resources, none of this emergency funding would actually go toward repairing the dunes. That's because all replenishment projects get funding from the Army Corps of Engineers. And here's the bad news. WBOC has now learned that Bethany Beach and South Bethany Beach are not included in this year's work plan as some expected. Pratt says it could now be a year and a half before any nourishment work is done in those areas.
We're in a very vulnerable situation there. I expect as a practitioner we're going to see the complete loss of dune down there, and they're going to be starting all over from scratch in at least Bethany Beach, and I don't know how much of South Bethany is going to be left, but it's a bad situation.
What does this mean for Bethany?
Watch out.
Do you think Army Corps of Engineers made the right choice in not including Bethany?
I'll let them answer that question. That's a question that we're perplexed by.
So the waves keep crashing as the coastline looks to rebuild. Now, I did reach out to the Philadelphia District Office of the Army Corps of Engineers. All they could tell me was that the decision came out of the Washington, D.C. headquarters. I did reach out to that office today, but at this point, we've not heard back. Reporting tonight in Sussex County, this is Evan Koslov for WBOC News in Bethany Beach.
Evan Koslov, thank you. And town leaders are now starting to react to this story. Bethany Beach Mayor Jack Gordon tells us, quote, "It's extremely disappointing, and we're just hoping that the weather is not as bad as far as having any nor'easters for now. There is nothing the town can do but continue to talk to the appropriate people."